Right, let's turn to this now. Former President Jacob Zuma wants Chief Justice Raymond Zondo's appointment to be set aside. He accuses President Cyril Ramaphosa of irrationally appointing Zondo. For more on this, we're joined now by Zuma Foundation spokesperson Mzwanele Manyi. Good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, good evening, Thabo, and good evening to your viewers.
There are three or so prayers that you are bringing to the courts. One is the actual panel that would have shortlisted the name. Two, it's the president's decision to, as you put it in your own words, to reject the recommendation of the Judicial Service Commission. And then three, of course, the appointment itself of Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. Let's go then bit by bit. Let's start first with the panel. So there were 564 submissions that came in.
The issue is not even that number for now. The issue is the fact that the issue of appointing a judge is regulated in the Constitution. So President Ramaphosa has got no latitude to introduce his own processes that are not cited in the Constitution. So the first issue is that panel itself is unconstitutional. The only people that needed to consult in making this appointment is the JSC. And instead, he extended his area of consultation, basically, to this panel. There is absolutely nothing in law that gives him that latitude. So the issue of that panel on its own, in fact, if we get what we are praying for, that alone should be able to dismantle the entire thing.
It's an HR process, isn't it? An interview process. You can interview a number of people, shortlist them, then the process is taken to the JSE.
No, but what that means...
For consultation.
Yeah, but what that means is that out of the people that have not been taken to the JSE, other people that are not given the power to do so by the Constitution decided who must go to the JSC. The JSC was, its hands were tied, were given what they were given. The JSC should have had its own processes, which it did have, to run its process. But Mr. Ramaphosa decided to assist the process and introducing things that are not lawful, things that are not procedural. You see, if you can say that and cite a particular section in the law that gives you the power to do that, then you are fine. But if you are going to just say discretion, there's no such a thing as a discretion on matters that are procedurally controlled in the Constitution.
So what has happened in the at least four of the five other Chief Justices? I mean, my understanding is that only one name was given.
But
how was that process conducted?
The difference is that for the first time, did we have another extra constitutional process of having a panel. This was unprecedented. All others...
But was that not discretionary power?
No.
Where is that? The president at the time decided in his own discretion that I'm just only going to give one name.
Now, if you cannot say that, just show me which part in the Constitution...
No, I'm asking you. I'm saying, was that not an exercise of discretionary power? Where does it say that the president must give one name? To the JSC?
No. He could have given 100 names or 4 names or whatever. The issue we're dealing with here is the appointment of the panel. The names that went to the JSC are not names that came from Mr. Ramaphosa and his presidency arrangement. It's some other external parties, Tulima Donsela, Advocate Pillay, and all those people are not envisaged in the Constitution. So when he goes to court, he must tell the court which part of the Constitution gave him the authority to do what he has done. He actually introduced a process that is not procedural.
Well, it was a process that was never done before. I suppose the same process that was undertaken.
The reason it was not done before
with the public protector, where you get submissions from the public, and the president is saying, well, it's in the interest of transparency so that people can see how these processes are.
No. The reason it was not done before is because all other presidents before him followed the Constitution. The Constitution has indicated the processes. There's all sections of the Constitution that deal with this. Section 174 deals with this thing as to how this is done. You can't decide that with powers vested in me, I'm going to do my own thing. So that's the one thing that we think must be dealt with.
The other argument is there is 3 levels of discretion. There is widest discretion, which is given by Section 174, subsection 3, and there is fettered discretion, which is given by Section 174, subsection 4. And then there is no discretion when it comes to the appointment of Supreme Court of Appeal judges and High Court judges, where there's a particular process that is outlined in the Constitution, and the President must adhere to the advice, it says there, strict advice of the JSC. It doesn't say so in Section 174, subsection 3. It says the President will consult.
Yes, I think you must draw a line between consult and inform.
Yeah.
It also does not say the President must inform. It says must consult. Yeah. Now, if you go to the definition of what is to consult, to seek opinion, to get advice, to get recommendation, and all of that. And he could very well reject the advice, doesn't have to accept the advice. The issue we're arguing here is not that he didn't accept the advice. We want him to tell us what's the rationale that was used to do something else. Because this panel went through a very rational process. Here you have no less than 20 people. In this, and the quality of this panel was quite remarkable. You had judges in the panel, you had advocates in the panel, you had attorneys in the panel, you had members of parliament in the panel, you had a score sheet in the panel. So the process was objective, transparent on TV and all. And then the process ran. And then this panel decided with the instrument they had in front of them to say, this is our recommendation. Yeah. We're not saying he should have taken that with his eyes closed. But all we're saying is that the decision that you've made, can you prove its rationality? Because we think it's irrational that you ignored such an extensive... What was the whole point of spending the whole week? Is that now, must we now deal with fruitless and wasteful expenditure? What was the whole point of the whole week of interviews? And then the person just decides. Let me make this simple, Thabo. Here you have a situation that you must appoint a truck driver. And then you have 5 truck drivers that must go through a test. And then the one truck driver that has hit all the poles, and that's the one that you appoint. Others came in nicely, they did reverse parking, they did side parking, and they tick all the boxes. The one that was just crashing everything, you appoint that one. So we're saying, why? Maybe there's a good reason for this. We want to hear from you as to what...
If then we go with your thinking and your rationale around what's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
The Constitution doesn't say that. It says that, though, around the...
What does it not say?
It doesn't say that it must give reasons.
No.
But it says that when it comes to the appointment of JSC judges. You can read it. It says so. It says the President... the Judicial Commission must prepare a list of nominees with 3 names for the appointment.
Don't confuse yourself.
No. I'm trying to read to you.
Go to Section 174.
I'm there. I'm Section 174, subsection. There's Section 1, there's subsection 2, and subsection 3.
Read it.
Right. The subsection 3, the one we're talking about right now, says the President, as head of the executive, after consulting the Judicial Service Commission and the leaders of parties represented in the National Assembly, appoints the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't say give reasons.
No, not say give
reasons.
No. But you see, then you must not cherry pick the Constitution.
Yeah.
You must understand the Constitution in totality. When the President exercises his power,
yes,
what is the thing that he must do? He must exercise his power not arbitrarily. He must exercise his power rationally.
Right.
That's how he must do. That's what he must do. And all we're asking is that, Mr. President, please prove to us that the power that you've exercised is rational, because in the face of it, it's not rational. It's not rational because the recommendation you were given, you did not take. And it took a whole week to come to that recommendation. It took 20 eminent scholars to give this recommendation. And you decide...
But that's not the job of the JSC.
What? It is to make a recommendation.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's not. It is to consult. The JSC cannot come to the President and say, here's a name. We recommend this one.
But you don't understand.
Did the JSC not exceed its bounds there in terms of Constitution? And try to usurp the constitutional power of the President?
No. I think, let me take a step back.
Yeah.
We are not arguing that he didn't take this one, he took this one, whatever. No. All we're arguing is, whoever you have taken, now that you didn't take the one that went through the right process, the one that was recommended by an objective and a fair process, the one that you have chosen on your own, show cause to show that the one that you've chosen, you've still chosen that person rationally. On the facts at our disposal, that decision is irrational for a number of reasons. One, this was the worst performer. We are told, it's public information, that out of the scores that this person scored, Zondo, he scored the lowest. It's question number last in the whole pile. Why do you take number last and appoint number last? Number one. Number two, one of the considerations in appointment of judges is also regulated in that section 174. One of the considerations is the issue of gender representation. Yeah. Now, the Constitutional Court, as we sit here and now, is still male-dominated. Here was an opportunity to change this thing and make a female appointment. This is regulated. This is not just me saying this. It's regulated in the Constitution. Why did you decide to ignore the guidance given by the Constitution that said to you, in the case like this, gender parity is important, and you decide that you're going to continue with the men?
It's always been regulated. It's always been regulated. Yet previous presidents would give just one name, and all of them are males.
We're talking about this now. Don't just not digress. No, the issue that you're dealing with is this.
No, I'm saying it's always been regulated, that space. The gender parity issue has always been there.
Yes.
Previous presidents, without giving reasons, have only given one name, and those names were males. And that's what was given to the GNC.
Yeah, but you know what, aboutism does not work. What we're dealing with here is a case on hand. Here we had a female candidate that was actually recommended, not because she was female. It helped that she was female, but she was hitting the lights and everything, whether it's number of everything that was scored. Yeah. She hit the lights out on it. But somehow you go and take number last. Why do you do this?
Yeah.
And by the way, all we're saying is just explain your rationale. That's all we're saying. Maybe after this, he'll come with a brilliant reason. We don't know. But as we sit here and now, the decision seems irrational. The decision is unconstitutional. The decision is unlawful.
Yeah. KSEC was on moments ago. They're saying more than a legal move, it's a political move that the former president is actually making here.
They are entitled to their opinion. But what we're doing here, we're just seeking a declaratory order, and it's perfectly within the right of the foundation and His Excellency President Zuma to do this. But anybody else can say whatever they want to say. One of the things that President Zuma fought for is democracy. One of the things that he fought for is freedom of expression. So CASAC has expressed a freedom of expression. They are welcome to do that. But they must not peddle their opinion as a fact. Okay, so they can peddle it as an opinion, it's fine. But it's not a fact.
Mzwanele Manyi, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
All right, that's Mzwanele Manyi speaking on behalf of the Jacob Zuma Foundation.